Hello, and welcome to the Yarngirl podcast. My name is Lisa, and I'm coming to you from the Denver, Colorado area where I live with my family. Today is September 23rd. Today I have a finished object, a half-finished object, and lots of WIPs that I'm going to share with you today. I'm also going to go through some of those WIPs and decide whether or not I will be frogging or finishing them. I know a lot of makers right now are going through a lot of their projects and deciding whether or not they should finish or frog things. And I think part of the reason for that, or at least my reason for it, is there's lots of KALs going on, and for me, it's squirrel, something new and fancy, and I want to get involved with it. But I am going to go into 2023 with doing a lot more knitting with intention and really being selective with my yarn and projects. As you can see behind me here, I have tons and tons of stash, and I do want to make my way through my stash. Very, very difficult for me not to buy the new shiny penny, but I am going to do my best to not just buy yarn and not have a project for it. So again, it's knitting and buying with intention when it comes to yarn. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And as usual, please don't hesitate. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like what you see. And again, for those of you that are returning, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you that have stopped by for the first time, thank you. I'm so appreciative of all of you that stop by and drop comments. I do read all my comments. I try to make sure that I respond to every single comment. If I don't respond, know that I go back through a lot of those episodes, and I will, or at least I'm going to give it a like, and I've read it. So just understand that I have done that. I am getting close to 100 subscribers and never thought that I would even get 50 subscribers. So I'm super excited about 100. And I know that in the scheme of podcasts, that may not seem like it's a ton, but I'm super appreciative of that. And I will be doing a giveaway once I reach the 100 subscriber mark. So be looking for that in the next couple of weeks. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and show you my finished object. So my first or only finished object is a pair of socks that I knit. And I showed these, I think, on the last podcast. They were a work in progress, but I did go ahead and get these finished out. I did quite a bit of knitting. My husband and I went on a trip, and I got a lot of the knitting finished on that trip. I know that you can see here, I still have my markers left in, and this is just a tip that I took from Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, and she marks every 10 rounds. That way you can match up your socks and you know that you have a matching pair. This pair I actually did as 2 at a time, and they were done on a 2.25 millimeter needle, 1 US, and I used my Xiao Guz on these. No, I actually used my Knit Pro Zings, but this was done on a 2.25 US one. And if you see here, I'm calling these my vanilla socks with a pop, and that's because right before I started the toe decreases, I just put in the same color that I used for my heel, the contrast color that I used for my heel, which is a Mandy Makings mini that I had. The heel and the pop at the top of the cuff here is a mini from AChickThatKnitz, but I just put in this slip stitch, 5-round slip stitch here. So I just slipped the first round. I just did a slip stitch, and it turned out really, really cute. And then I did a slip stitch right before I started the decreases with the other contrast color. So it just adds a little bit of a pop, and I thought that was kind of cute. So that's my finished object. And I think I mentioned that my main color is from Christy of Yarn Cafe Creations, and in the colorway Marry Me. And I know that yesterday Christy had posted something. I hope she gets all that. I love Christy's yarn. I actually have another work in progress that's in one of her colorways, but she was having some trouble with her Etsy shop. So I know she had posted some stuff on Instagram, and she is trying to get that back up and running as soon as she can. So I wish her luck on that, and I hope that works out for her, that she can get that up. I do order yarn from her. I have a little bit in my stash, and then I've knit this project, and I have another pair of socks that I've knit out of her colorway, and then I have like I said, a WIP that I will be showing you. So that is that. My next, we are going to go into, I have a half object, and it's hanging here. So this I showed on last week's podcast, or my last podcast. It wasn't last week, but this is the Simply Irresistible Socks by Christy Archer Designs. And I've got notes down here, so I want to make sure that the green color is just, and this is a Simply Irresistible Socks in worsted weight. She also has it in a fingering weight, and I actually just reached out to her to sign up for a test. She's looking for test knitters for this same sock, and I think it's going to be done with a mohair, so I'm super excited about that. But this is just a worsted weight. The green is done in a Knit Crate yarn that I got in one of my Knit Crate boxes. And then the cuff and the toe I've done in AChickThatKnitz her worsted weight in just kind of a reddish color. And these actually I'm kind of doing to have to just be house slippers, house socks for like the Christmas time. So Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, I will have these, and I will be making many more of these. I also shared in my last podcast, I had ordered additional worsted weight yarn from AChickThatKnitz, and I will be doing several pairs for family members. So super excited. This is such an easy knit, and it goes really quickly because it is worsted weight. But she does have a fingering, and I actually ordered additional yarn to do it in kind of more of like a cozy rustic type yarn in worsted, because I thought that would also be really nice to have and to give as gifts. So more of these to come. Super excited. And I have started on the second sock. Let's see. Here I am on the second sock. So got a fair amount done, but said still a ways to go. And I hope to have these done by next week. And when I podcast again, I will definitely it'll be shown as a finished object, and hopefully maybe 2 finished objects of these socks, because this is, like I said, this makes for a really nice one. I am going to try it in fingering weight just to kind of see how that goes. And this might be a new go-to pattern for me. For socks. Makes great gift just because you don't have to worry about the way her heel's done. It's a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give too much away, but it helps you with that heel. So, okay. So that said, I am going to share, this is a work in progress that I've had on the needles for a while. Just drinking some raspberry hibiscus herbal tea today. I'm really getting into the teas. I'm starting to drink, I have coffee in the morning, and I will sometimes, I'm now starting to have tea. So I'm doing tea, and I usually put some lemon in it, fresh lemon, and really, really liking that. So I'm going to start adding to my tea collection. So if you have any suggestions on some really great teas. I get a lot of tea packets in some of my subscription boxes, and when I order yarn from different dyers, and I will drink those. But if you have any suggestions on tea companies or different types of teas, please make sure you leave a comment below. I love trying new things, and would really like to get some teas in my collection. So that's super yummy. So my next work in progress is one that I've had on the needles for a while, and I think I'm going to get finished. So I'm hoping to be finished. I am going to finish in September. I know Knitty Natty goes through a whole thing. She plans out how she is going to finish an object, a sweater or socks or whatever she's working on. And I'm going to take a tip from her, and I think I'm going to start doing the same, just so that I can get finished with stuff. I've been really blowing through stuff now because I'm just sitting and making sure that I'm being really, really aware of, Lisa, finish, finish, finish. So I'm starting to do that. But this next work in progress is my Falling Star. I think it's Falling Stars. Yeah, Falling Star sweater. It's an Expression Fiber Arts sweater. And this, I don't want to cover my face, but I want you to see, I just have a little bit left on that ribbing, and I have started this sleeve. So the sleeve, I'm going to get this sleeve done. I'm hoping to have this sleeve done actually by tomorrow. So I'm going to be spending a lot of my day today. I have to go run some errands, grocery shopping, stuff like that. But once I'm done with that, I'm going to come back and I'm going to really knit on this sleeve to hopefully get that sleeve completed. And then I'll start on the second sleeve and I'll have the ribbing done. So for sure by next podcast, hopefully I will be wearing this. We got a couple of days here in Colorado that were really cold. Yesterday and the day before, Wednesday and Thursday. And now we're going to go back up into the high 70s, low 80s for the next few days. But fall is definitely here. So I think that I will get some use out of this. So I'm super excited to block this. My color work isn't fantastic on this. I'm hoping that with blocking some of that puckering will go away, but I really, really like this. It really made me appreciate color work, and it makes me want to do all the color work sweaters. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna really choose the sweaters that I do carefully because I want to make sure that I finish them. I want to know that it's bringing me joy, and so that I will start it and finish it fairly quickly and not have things just sitting on the needles. So again, if there is a easy but really just something that really makes a statement as far as a color work sweater, please leave a comment below because I'm looking for those suggestions, and I want sweaters, primarily some color work sweaters to work on through the winter because I think that will be really good projects. So Falling Stars, and I'm really, really liking that. And of course, the yarn on this, there is a project page for this that lists all my yarns, so I'm not going to go through a ton of my yarns. This was done on a size 6 needle, I believe. And then the sleeve, of course, is on a larger needle than that. But that's like it's a Cloudborn yarn, purple, my favorite color. And again, my project page will have all the other details on that. So I think I'm doing that in the third size. So I'm hoping that that will work out. So my next work in progress, I did also again show on the last podcast, and it's my Lace and Fade Boxy, which I'm doing with the Joji, her Fall KAL. I'm also doing another project I'm not going to show today because I haven't done a whole lot. I haven't done a ton on this, but I did switch to the mohair. This is a fingering and mohair, sport and mohair. I'm doing fingering and mohair base yarn sweater. It's a boxy sweater. She has several boxies if you are familiar with Joji's patterns. And this Lace and Fade is her newest one, and I decided that I would go ahead and do this. It actually knits up pretty quickly. I just haven't had time to knit on this that much, but I think I was just into this first color the last time I showed it, and now I am into the lace. So the mohair, lace mohair. And I'm just using a lace mohair from Knit Picks. This is the Aloft. And let's see the colorway on this. This is the blush colorway. So, and hopefully you guys are seeing that the right direction. But really, really liking this. Again, I have a project page for this. And so you'll be able to see all my colors. I'm using colors, several different colors from several different dyers. So that will be in my project page on my Ravelry. And all that will be listed. So another work in progress and these works in progress that I'm mentioning right now, these are not works in progress that I'm thinking about frogging. I'm definitely finishing all of these that I'm showing you right now. When we get to that portion where I'm not sure, I'll definitely, let you know. And that way you can comment if you think it's something I should finish, or maybe you've knit it before and you can give me some suggestions. This goes back to, I think, podcast number 1. I showed these and I think I shared that I wasn't thrilled with the color. It was a Christmas colorway by, I want to say, Pumpkin and Wool. I've got the ball band in here, so I'm just going to take that out. Yeah, Pumpkins and Wool. And it's called Peppermint Bark. So I'm just calling these my peppermint socks. And this is a DK weight. So I did them toe up, 2 at a time, as you see on my Chow Goose. And this is a US size 3. I'm using a US size 3, which I don't know why. Because normally if in a DK weight, I would go with a 2, but for some reason, and I am an extremely tight knitter. But yeah, I went with a US 3. I was trying to see what I think it's 3.25 maybe millimeter. I don't know. It's a US 3. So, but anyways, I shared in that first podcast that I wasn't loving the color. The peppermint bark in here just wasn't grabbing me. I mean, it's great yarn. It feels great. For whatever reason, I just wasn't in love with it. So I decided to pick it up because I wanted to go ahead and finish it, and I'm trying to get things off the needles. And I thought, okay, what can I do to change this? So I added this green for the heels, and I just did a shadow wrap heel on this from Earthtone, Denise of Earthtone Girls. I use her shadow wrap pattern. I have that pattern, her sock. But I used, like I said, I used a green color from Nitty McPearly. I got a DK weight set, some minis from her a while back. And so I grabbed one of those, and that's what I'm using in this. And it's helping me for this to grow on me. I don't know that I'm going to keep these. I may end up gifting them to somebody in my family, but yeah, it's still, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that I love this, but I am going to finish these. And like I said, either I will fall in love with them once they're done and they will be mine, or I will gift them. Kind of funny because my daughter said to me, she came in from work and she said, Mom? And I said, yes, Danielle. And she said, that is pink and green. And Mama, which is my mother, her grandmother, is going to be very upset with you. So my family, and this goes to sororities for any of you that know anything about sororities, but my mother and sisters and aunts, they're deltas, and their colors are red and white. AKA's colors are pink and green. And so I said, it is not pink, that is red. It's red. So I will let her know it's peppermint. It's red. So, but when you look at it, it does come across a little pink. So I got a little chuckle out of it, and it was kind of funny that my daughter I was really kind of surprised. She's not into that at all, really, but she understands the rivalry with pink and green and red and white. So all in fun and good spirit, nothing, but I just thought that was kind of funny. So I said, well, if I gift it, probably won't be gifting it to Mama, but those are my, and I'm just calling these my peppermint socks, and I have these in a Stolen Minutes bag that I got in one of my, I'm sure I got this through a Mandy Makings winter box. I think that came in my winter box. So, but yeah, like that bag. Very cute bag. So moving right along. So this one now is one that I'm thinking about frogging. And this is my Dolan sweater that I started over the summer, actually. This started out as it was a knit along that Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, and I think maybe Sock Witchery, I'm not positive on that one, but they had going on, and it was cable sweaters. And it's called the Dolan, and it's I do have a project page on this one, so I won't go into a lot of detail. This is just Cascade 220, and of course it's purple. And I like it. It's a cardigan. I'll insert a picture as well, but I don't know. I think this is going to be frogged. I really do. I haven't made a lot of progress on it. It's one that you have to seam, so I would be doing this in pieces. This is the back that I'm working on now, and I love the cables. Really love the cables, but I'm not convinced. So, here's the thing. I kind of want to finish it, but I want the yarn. I want this yarn. I like the yarn, so I want to use it maybe for a sweater that I would quickly knit up, and it would just, because it's bringing me joy, I would get through it. So I'm thinking about frogging it for that reason and repurposing the yarn to keep me from going out and buying this yarn. This is a non-superwash, by the way. It's Cascade 220 non-superwash, worsted. And I'm thinking about, I'd like to do a sweater in this yarn. So I'm thinking that maybe I would frog it, repurpose it, and it might, I might end up doing this pattern later with a different yarn. So not super convinced, but I think it's going to be frogged. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I mean, I hate to frog because I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have a lot done on it and I like the cables, but I don't know. I'm just not convinced. So you tell me what you think. Leave a comment below. Enough said on that. I'm going to just put that aside. I can't, I look at it. Actually, that sits, and I have a chair in my room where I knit sometimes, and that sits by that chair, and I walk by it and I look at it and I roll my eyes and I'm like, Lisa, you just need to get it done. I don't know. We'll see. Tell me what you think. Okay. My next item that I'm definitely going to frog, and I am frogging this, is in one of my Madder Root bags. Absolutely love these bags. And I saw from Naughty Knitwits, one of the ladies on there got a bag recently from Madder Root, and it's a cute bag. It's got a wax canvas bottom and a plaid body to it. Same style where you can fold it down and clip it, or you clip it. You can clip it and, just walk and knit. Love these bags. I have two. I have this one, and I also have one in gray. But that's the bag. So my project in here is a pair of socks that I've had on the needles for a long, long time. And it's the pattern is Heel Toe Do-Si Do by Kay. Nothing wrong with the pattern. Actually love this pattern. I just, for whatever reason, lost my steam on this. I started out pretty good, and I was working on because I have the other one on the needles as well. So I was working on at the same time, not two at a time, but at the same time. I think there's probably a few mistakes in this sock, and that may be why. Sometimes when I have a mistake in something, it upsets me, so I won't necessarily, I'll put it down. It goes into a timeout, and then when I pick it back up, I am at a point where it's like I can't continue to knit on this until I correct my mistake, and if it's too far gone, I will show you where my mistake is. It's with one of the slip stitches, I believe. I'm not positive, but it's there. I mean, you may not be able to see it. I can definitely see it. The saying goes, if somebody can see that and they're too close to you, that's probably true. But I don't know. So now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, this could kind of be I don't even remember what the yarn is. I got this yarn when I was visiting my mom in Indianapolis. It kind of looks Christmassy, so maybe I don't know, we'll see. I was convinced before I started filming today that I'm definitely going to frog that. And I think I have the other one right here, which I've made more progress on this one. So again, I don't know. But I think I'm going to frog it. I really do. It's just not, yeah, I need to do a different pattern, I think, with this. I need to do a different sock with this yarn. But anyways, I'm frogging them. I'm going to frog them. So, not the end of the world. Yarn and sticks, as they say. So that's that. So my next pair of socks that I am not going to frog, but I have been on the needles for a long time, but I was going through my WIPS and decided, like, why did I stop? But Earthtone Girls is having a fall KAL, sock KAL, and it's probably a mal because I think you can crochet as well. But these colors are just super fally, and I don't know why I stopped this pattern. And I think part of it was I thought I was going to run out of yarn because I started this with yarn from Moonglow Yarn Company. I think this was one that it was either a color for Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady or Nitty Natty, but she did these colors that were beautiful. And I want to say it was Nitty Natty, or it may have been both of them. It was something that a collaboration that she did for both. But anyways, it's called the Ocean Drive Socks, and this is by Pip and Pin, Megan Nodecker, Pip and Pin. Loved, loved, loved the socks. And I was trying to see if I had a picture. I don't. I will insert a picture of the pattern. But I am on one, and in fact, I have it here. It's the Haunted Rose Garden sock set, and she's out of Wyoming. I've ordered several things from her, and I really like her yarn. But this is what I have so far of this sock. And I really like the pattern. Move my ends out of the way. Really love this pattern, and this is just so fall. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these up for the KAL that she's got going on. And yeah, I'm going to finish these. So I'm going to start working on those. These are on my Chow Goose. These are red lace. They're the small ones. And these would be on a size 1. These are on a 2.25, US 1. And I probably should go down to a 0 because I think on the 9-inch, I think that even though I'm a tight knitter, I think that I end up with a larger gauge when I'm on this particular Chow needle. Just my fixed 9-inch circulars in the Chow, a US 1 is fine. But I think on this US 1 interchangeable, my gauge seems to be a little bit loose, so my sock seems to be, I don't know, or maybe it's opposite. I don't know. The sock just seems to be a little bit big, but I'll try it on and we'll see. But I'm definitely going to finish it. I am going to add some other yarns in there because I don't want to run out of yarn. So I'm going to use this, and this is from Autumn Acorn. She dyes yarn, and this was from a little mini sock set that I got from her. It's got neps in it, little tweedy bits. So I am going to use that in there, and then I will continue to use the colors that I got from Moonglow Yarn Company. So those are going to be kind of scrappy because I'm probably going to have to do some changing there. And this is actually in my, I started these probably last Halloween, but these are in my Cabana Berry bag, and it's in a Halloween bag. Love their bags. So, really cute bag. So, that is that on that one. But yes, that's going to definitely be a finished object. So my next work in progress is a work in progress that I started for my husband, and it's the Sock Head Cowl by Kelly McClure, and she also has a sock head hat. And these are free. They're free on Ravelry. Both patterns are free on Ravelry. A lot of people do the sock head hat, It's a fingering weight hat. This is also fingering weight. And I'm just doing this, I'm knitting this up in a yarn from one of my sock crates from Knit Crate. And I like this. This is one of his, this is one of his favorite colors. And my battery stopped, sorry. Or not my battery, my card said it was full, but I know it's not full. So anyway, I was thinking about frogging this, and I still might frog, and I'm not convinced I'm going to continue knitting this. So again, I think this is going to be a frog it, and I'm going to maybe use this yarn for a muscle burrow for him. I knit him a muscle burrow out of a yarn from A Chick That Knits, and he really likes that hat and told me that he thinks he needs another one. So I might do that. Or I will change the cowl into a hat. So I'll go ahead and just keep knitting this and then do the decreases and just make this the socket hat. So I'm sure I haven't looked at the two different patterns, but to see about making some modifications, but I'm sure I can make some modifications as long as it's not too big down here. I can probably modify it and just do the hat instead. So I'll think about that. And let me know what you think. If I should keep it as a cowl or change it into the hat. So that's that WIP. Told you, got a lot of WIPs. But I'm getting things off the needles, so I'm really feeling good about a lot of that. So I'm going to put a question mark by that one because I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that one. So next up, I have and I showed this in the last podcast. I actually should have been done. And I'm done with sorry about my chair. I'm done with the actual kerchief part, but I have to add the ties. So the I-cord ties, which I'm pretty much done with that. The first one, you attach it and then, and this is a free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away, but you attach it, put it in there, you go, I think you knit over to the other side and then you attach the other tie. But I have yarn, and I shared on the last podcast, I do have yarn to make another one. So I'm going to get that one on the needles. I actually plan to have it on the needles. But I'll tell, and that'll happen in life stuff. I'll just tell you, we were out of town. So I did very little. I knit on those socks, and that was pretty much it. But this is definitely still a work in progress, and I will get that finished. It'll be finished probably by next week. My tea's getting a little chilly. Okay, so I guess I will go to this WIP, which is a pair of socks. And these have been on the needles again since last October. And there's tons of, October sock-alongs and KALs and stuff like that. It's a pattern by This Handmade Life. It's called A Little Hocus Pocus, and I sock one of my Facebook groups that I'm on, sock Facebook groups. This was the October, I believe, it was the October or the September sock along for that month. And I started it and just kind of lost steam. It's a cable, love the cable. And I actually was going to frog this last week. And then I picked it back up and started working the cable. And unfortunately for me, when I put something down that's cables or something that's a little bit complicated, a lot of times I forget, even with notes, like, what am I supposed to be doing? But I think I'm going to go ahead and finish it. And this will be, because Denise of Earthtones, she said you could have WIPs. And I think I'm going to keep this. So my cables, I know, are not exactly like they should be on this one, but I think part of it, I'm going to keep it and then start the second sock and compare the two, because it's, for me, it's a learning thing. So I'm, it's not a hard cable, actually. I don't know what happened. I just had a really hard time reading I guess I had a hard time with the directions in the beginning. I don't know why, but I did. And then when I figured it out, I was like, oh my gosh. And the cables came out, they started coming out really nicely. And then I put it down for a while and picked it back up, and it just, I don't know, my cables didn't match up. But I do really, really like, I like this sock. And this yarn is Yarn Cafe Creations. And this is in her Jack-o'-lantern colorway. Really love this yarn. Love the colorway. So I definitely I want to have it knit up. I want to have some socks out of it. So if I can wear these in October, to work off and on, then that would be great. So, and I just did a shadow wrap heel. And this contrast heel is a colorway by, I want to say, Craftly Design. I think it's Craftly Designs, and she's near me actually. She dyes yarn in the Colorado Spring area. So I think I'm going to go ahead and continue with these. I kind of, I was going to frog, but I'm gonna finish these. So this is going to be a finish it. If you feel differently, comment below. But I think I'm going to finish that, even though I know there's some mistakes in that cable. And this is actually in a Halloween bag that I just got. Love, love, love this bag. It's super duper cute. The maker of this bag is Blackbird Sycamore, and she has an Etsy shop. So go show her some love. She had some really cute bags, and it just makes for a really nice sock bag. So love that. And I'm thinking that is it. It is. That is pretty much it for my works in progress and frogs and finishes. So I have tons of other works in progress and other bags, but I'm probably going to be frogging all of those. And I am going to do a separate video, I think, for just frog it, finish it. And that's all that will be. I won't be sharing anything else other than frog it and finish it, because I have probably another, I don't know, 4 or 5 project bags that have items in it that I either haven't looked at in months, or I pick up, knit a round or two on, and then I put it back down. And that's just not how I want to be knitting. I want to knit with intention, and I want to knit with a purpose. I'm knitting it from start to finish for, me, gifting, whatever it is, but I want to get stuff started and finished. So it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be different for me going into the fall and then into 2023 when it comes to knitting. So with that, I am going to go into some acquisitions. Don't have a lot to share on acquisitions, but the acquisitions that I have, absolutely love. And my first one is a project bag that I got from Christy Archer Designs. And it's beautiful, beautiful. Love the fabric. This, I believe, is her medium-sized bag. And the nice thing is it has a snap. So I like drawstring and snap top bags, just because your yarn doesn't tend to get caught in the zipper. Nothing wrong with zipper bags, but I just tend to, the way I pull my yarn, I don't like it. So it's got a bucket bottom, which is really nice. And then it's got her stamp on the inside. So, but really, really cute bag. Can't wait to get a pair of socks in there. So I'm sure that I'll have something I'll be casting on soon, and I will get that in that bag. So check out Christy's shop. And then my other one is also another project bag, and this is this is 3 by the Sea, and it's just a really cute fall bag. It's a truck with some pumpkins in it. Again, just a really nice project bag. You could probably put a sweater or shawl, really a shawl in that bag, but really, really nice bag. So, and I got a stitch marker. Yeah, I got a stitch marker, just a single stitch marker with that bag. And I will, maybe I'll insert a photo of the stitch marker. It's a cute stitch marker. So I think that is it for acquisitions for me. And I'm sure there's a few others that I've received, but I'm not going to share those on this podcast. And sorry, I'm looking down at my notes because I want to make sure I don't forget anything here. So, some podcasts that I've been watching. I have started watching Stitch Your Own Adventure, and she's fairly new. She may only have 1 or 2 episodes at this point, but she definitely is under that 500 subscriber limit. So I did want to mention her. There's some that do have 500, but I'm still going to mention them. The other one that I started watching recently is Kimber's Cozy Creations. She actually dyes yarn, and she actually put some of her yarn, or Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady carries some of her yarns in her shop. I think she even dyed a signature color for Kay, but she does have colors in there. And then she has her own website with sock yarn and, well, just yarn in general. But check her out and check out her podcast. Really cute podcast, and she does a lot of knitting of socks and things like that. Then the other one that I started watching, and she's just the cutest little thing, is the Honey Stitches. And she just started out with a podcast, and she has a great little podcast. And she, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I watched her yesterday, or her latest episode I watched yesterday, and it looks like she might be designing her own sweater or cardigan already. I mean, that just blows me away. Like, I've been knitting off and on, and I'm like, wow, that's just like amazing to me that she's able to do all that. So check her out, the Honey Stitches, and she's actually getting a pretty good following. So I'm really super excited for her. But yeah, check her out when you get a chance. And then the other one that I'm watching, and she's uploading quite often, and I want to say she's in Seattle area, maybe. Seattle or Portland area. And that is Carly's Handmade. And I think she's expecting a baby soon, but she has lots and lots of knits. And she actually featured some socks that I talked about in my last podcast under the hands, head, and hosiery. 2 patterns. One I know was by Petite Knit, and I don't remember who the other one was by, but it's in that podcast if you want to go back and look. And they were worsted weight, I believe worsted weight socks, if not worsted DK weight, but they knit up really quickly, made great gifts. But she featured that in her podcast. She has a lot of knitting that she's done. She does a lot of baby knits. So if you are, looking for baby knits, she would have some suggestions on some baby knits. But she's, again, a really, really neat podcaster, and I'm enjoying watching her. So, and she uploads a lot, so you will have a lot of podcasts that you can watch from her. And then the other one that I noticed has started uploading quite a bit lately, that is Colorado Knits. And of course, she's right here by me. Actually, I think we don't live too far from each other, but she has been uploading some episodes. I think she's got 2 recent episodes that she has uploaded. I'm sorry, my tree is kind of blowing out there. And I'm enjoying her mix. She has a lot of detailed stuff that she has knit on. So again, her episodes usually are not that long, but it's something that you can do on a lunch hour to knit to, just quickly, pull her up. But really, really enjoying her podcast as well. So check her out. And I think in looking at that, yeah, I think that's probably it. So just some life stuff, just busy. We're really busy at work. My husband and I did take a trip last week. We went away. We went to visit his daughter in the North Carolina area and had a little bit of beach time. So I think I did post a picture in my Instagram stories, I think, just of us kind of walking on the beach. But it was very relaxing, nice to get away for a few days, nice to take some days off from work. So I had a few days off from work, and it was really nice. But yeah, just like I said, I'm gonna try to get another podcast uploaded, and in that podcast, like I said, it's gonna really be about finishing and frogging. And then the other thing that I did want to talk about in that podcast is going to be needles. So I am going to feature a needle set that I have purchased. Not I mean, it's been in the last probably 4 months or so, but I've started using the needles. It's an interchangeable set by Lantern Moon. I'm really, really liking those needles. I also have fallen in love with the Chiaogu because of the cords, the red lace cord. I'm gonna tell you the cord with these because Lantern Moon, I guess, had been out before. I never knit with them, and I didn't know anything about them until recently. But the cords, I'm really liking the cords. So they're on a lot of my projects. Actually, I think my Lace and Fade Boxy, that is a Lantern Moon cord. It's my Knit Picks. I have my Knit Picks needles on it, but it's that cord, and there you can change them with your Knit Picks, Knit Pros. They work with those needles. So yeah, I can't wait to show you the set. I probably won't have the whole complete set to show you, but I will go into the different needles and definitely show you the cords. Not sponsored by them, but really, really liking it. I'm going to probably add some more to my collection of needles because I'm using them in a lot of my projects. So, if you have them and you like them, leave a comment below. Check them out. I think I ordered mine off of Jimmy Bean Wool carries them, I know. I probably got some from Handsome. I think it's called Handsome Fibers. I think they're on Etsy. But I'm going to be ordering more. And I've ordered like random cords. So I've ordered several different sizes of cords. And actually in my sweater, my Colorwork sweater, the sleeve, I'm doing that on a 16-inch. It's one of their 16-inch cords with the Knit Picks metal needle that I've got on there. But really, really like those. So I will go into more detail on those on my next podcast and show the cords and show the different needles that they have. They also have double-pointed needles. So yeah, check them out. And again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below. Remember, once I reach that 100 subscribers, if that's the next episode, I will be doing a giveaway, and I will definitely show you what I will be giving away. But yeah, come back and watch me. And until then, happy knitting.